What's good, Washington fans? I am hyped, man. I am excited for any kind of football, man. Preseason tomorrow night against the Pats, man. I can't wait. It's going to be lit. I can't wait. Even though it's preseason, I'm just thirsty for any type of football. I seriously can't wait. I'm super excited. So this video, man, I just want to get, this is preseason, so it's not like the regular season. I'm not going to do keys to victory or things that we need to do to win because I couldn't care less. We could go 0-4 in the preseason and go 12-5 in the regular season. There's times where we've gone 3-1 in the preseason or 4-0 in the preseason, and we ended up going 4-12, 3-13, 6-10, or whatever. So this is more about development and training camp battles, or training camp preseason battles, making a roster. So I'll go over some of those positions, what I'm really looking forward to in the game, and of course the competition, the players that I want to see. And then I'll talk about, a little bit about the Pats too. Of course, Cam Newton, we'll see how much he plays, the storyline with him and Ron Rivera, we'll see how that shakes out. If he ends up playing, we'll see what happens with that. But I'm excited for this game. I'm looking forward to the quarterback competition, if it really is a competition, because Taylor Heinicke, he like I've been saying in my previous videos, he plays better when the lights come on. I feel like I feel like he's more of a quarterback that plays well off script. When things break down, he's ducking his head. The legend Taylor Heinicke, where he dove out for the touchdown in the playoff game. I think he's better during off script plays when the rush is getting to him. Sometimes when it's a structured practice, he doesn't play well. And there are players who do play better in games than they do in practice. People have said the same thing about DeShazier Everett, because he can go out there and lay a hit on guys in games, but he can't really do that in practice. And then, Troy Apke last year was a really good practice player, but just didn't play well in the game. So you can see it with a lot of players. So Taylor Heinicke might go out there and ball. I think he is going to play well. He's mostly going to be playing against the twos, and De'Ami Brown, I think he's going to be playing with the twos as well. Ryan Fitzpatrick, what I'm expecting for him, just to command the offense, just like Ron Rivera said in the press conference, just looking for Ryan Fitzpatrick to command the offense, good communication, things like that. I think he's going to take a few deep shots. He's going to try. I don't think Terry McLaurin's going to play. Of course, Curtis Samuel's not going to play. But I think he might take a few deep shots. I think he's going to throw a lot of passes to Adam Humphries, just some safe slot party type passes. And then he is Fitzpatrick. So he's going to try to air one out. He's going to try to throw one to De'Ami Brown if De'Ami's running with the ones, which I think he should. Or he's going to try to air one out to Cam Sims if Terry McLaurin's not playing. So that's what I'm looking for the quarterbacks. It probably is going to be very vanilla. I'm not expecting them to go out there and try to, air it out and throw some 50-yard bombs. We'll see. I think we're going to get one. We're going to get one from Fitz. Probably one drive or two drives, if that's it. And then, of course, Steve. I'm hearing there's going to be a lot of Steven Montez in this game. And that might be hard to watch. I don't want to knock Steven Montez too much, but I've been hearing he's been pretty darn bad up and down in practice. He's ended out of the last 6 practices, he's ended 6 of them with four interceptions at the end of practice. So there's going to be a lot of Steven Montez, and there's going to be a good amount of Taylor Heinicke as well. So expect to see a lot of Steven Montez out there from the quarterback standpoint. Of course, Kyle Allen, he's not going to be playing. He's going to be in pads. He's giving me Colt McCoy vibes. So we'll see if he gets to play in any of the preseason games. And, like I said, get ready for the Steven Montez show tomorrow night. Wide receivers, let's get to that real quick. So Terry, I doubt he plays. Curtis, I doubt he plays. And Adam Humphries, I think he's going to play. So we're really looking at that back end of the roster. It's a very competitive competition to make that last 6th or 5th spot for the wide receiver spot. And we could keep 7. So my locks are Adam Humphries, Terry, De'Ami, Cam Sims. Those are the 4 locks for me. And then after that, it is Adam Humphries, of course. So that's 5 guys right there. And then that 6th spot is tough. It's AGG versus Kelvin Harmon, DeAndre Carter. Steve Sims has had a heck of a camp. Isaiah Wright is definitely a practice squad guy. And then Dax Milne is a practice squad guy. So what's really is going to be important during this game is special teams, man. I'm telling you, for these wide receivers, for these back-end wide receivers, because DeAndre Carter, he can make the roster. He was listed as the starter, as our first-team punt returner on that unofficial depth chart that came out. And that's important, man, because last year, handling a punt or catching a field in a punt was a huge struggle for this football team, and it killed us. It killed us in that Panthers game. Isaiah Wright muffed the punt against the Giants. We played at home. That killed us as well. It gave them the field advantage, and they went down and scored. So muffing punts and fumbling punts killed us last year. So if somebody goes out there tomorrow night and they fumble the punt or muff the punt, then they're going to get, if it's DeAndre Carter, he's not going to make the roster. If Steve Sims goes out there and muffs the punt, then he's done. He's going to be cut. Isaiah Wright, same thing with him. So that's going to be huge. That's what I'm looking for. DeAndre Carter, he played pretty well in some preseason games. Steven Sims had a heck of a preseason game 2 years ago against the Ravens as well. So I think these guys are going to go out there and ball and play well. It's going to be a tough decision. Calvin Harmon, AGG. This will be AGG's first preseason game, so I'm excited to see what he can do under the lights against competition. Is he going to go out there and ball? Or, we'll see what happens. He didn't play much last year or play well. So, and I've been hearing that he's playing really, really, really well in camp. And I want to see what Calvin Harmon can do off the ACL injury, see if that explosion is still there. He's not a fast guy. He's never been that. But let's see if he can create a little bit of separation, go up there and get the ball, because he's really good at the contested catches. So we'll see what he can do. Same thing with AGG. AGG's super athletic. We'll see what he can do with some contested catches if Taylor Heineke can give him some chances, which he definitely will. Same thing. I was going to say Montez, but Taylor Heineke can definitely give him some chances. So I'm excited to see what those guys can do. DeAndre Carter, of course, as well. Then we'll move to the tight end. Sammy's Reyes. I do want to see him play some football. He should be suiting up. This will be his first organized football game under the lights. So we'll see what Sammy's Reyes can do. He's had a solid camp as well. I don't know if he's going to make the roster. Probably not. Probably will be on the practice squad, but I do want to see what he can do. We were excited when we signed him, picked him up. Former basketball player, has all the athletic tools. Super, super athletic. Let's see what he can do in his first football game. I'm excited to see him. John Bates as well. Logan Thomas, probably I wouldn't play him. And Ricky Seals-Jones, Tamarick Hemingway, tight end number 2. We'll see why he's been named the tight end number 2. If he can go out there and show out and play well, block, and catch a couple of passes that come his way. Ricky Seals-Jones, and the battle between, basically between Tamarick Hemingway, Ricky Seals-Jones, and Sammy Reyes and John Bates. So I'm interested to see that as well. Then we want to see all the rookies. We want to see Jamin Davis. Want to see my guy Jared Patterson. All those guys, Ben St. Juice. But the running back position too. Lamar Miller, Jared Patterson, those 2 guys, and Peyton Barber. All 3 of them. They're fighting for that 3rd spot. The coaching staff, they love Peyton Barber. Peyton Barber's had a good camp. Jared Patterson's had a good camp, but he was listed as the 5th or 6th guy on the depth chart. So that's kind of showing that he's going to be on the practice squad. I wouldn't take too much. I wouldn't take too much stock into the depth chart, but it is pretty much telling. I heard he wasn't playing with the 2s and the 1s a lot at all. He's been with the 3rd string guys, so I think he's going to get a lot of carries in that second half, though. So look out for Jared Patterson and Lamar Miller. See how they did with the carries up. I expect Antonio Gibson to not play in this one, but we'll see. Ron Rivera hasn't said yet because of the turf toe. Just to be cautious. They said he's been fine with the turf toe, but I would be cautious with Antonio Gibson. I would not play him in the preseason, so I'm excited to see what Jared Patterson can do. And then we'll move over to the offensive line. Sam Cosmi. He's been getting a lot of attention, and he's been going up against a lot of competition. One of the best pass rushing duos in the NFL. Montez Sweat and Chase Young. They've been giving him a hard time. Montez Sweat hit him in the throat, and then after that, Sam Cosmi was tired of it. He's done pretty well ever since. And really, when they put the pads on, that's when Sam Cosmi's done a lot better. He's been holding his own and playing strong against Montez Sweat and Chase Young. They have not given him any breaks at all. They've been coming after the rookie. They tried to bully him at first, but Sam Cosmi, stood his own. He's gotten better each practice. Cornelius Lucas has been out with the virus, but he is back, so he should be playing as well. Charles Leno, we get to see him for the first time at left tackle. Eric Flowers versus Wes Schweitzer. Who's going to win that battle? Wes Schweitzer and Eric Flowers. They're both 2 good left guards. So whoever wins the battle, I don't really have a problem. I think I'm pretty confident Eric Flowers and in Wes Schweitzer. Wes Schweitzer had a heck of a season last year. So we'll get to see those 2 guys battle it out. And then, of course, Sheriff and Rouye in the middle. We'll see how those guys do. And then we'll move over to the cornerback spot. Ben St. Juice, man. He's the fan favorite, the rookie, man. He's been balling. So we get to see him. And then, you look at the Patriots receivers. They picked up Nelson Aguilar. They picked up Kendrick Bourne. N'Keal Harry wants to trade. So I would expect him to be matched up against N'Keal Harry, who's a bigger, stronger wide receiver. So if he is matched up against N'Keal Harry, I do want to see that matchup. N'Keal Harry was a former first-round pick and did name Washington as a place that he wanted to go. So that was interesting during the offseason. So Ben St. Juice, Will Jackson, Kendall Fuller. At the back end, Torrey McTyre's been playing really well in training camp. Danny Johnson's had a solid camp. Darryl Roberts, those guys are battling for that last spot. Of course, Jimmy Moreland is a lock in my opinion. So, and Troy Apke, of course, he's battling for that last spot. And it really could come down to special teams again because Troy Apke is a heck of a special teams player, so that's his strong spot, being a gunner. And he's had some moments in practice. You know, he had an interception the other day. Granted, it was on Steven Montez, but he's had his moments at cornerback, and he's learning the position. He's getting better. So we'll see how he does. He'll probably be with the second string, third string guys. So I do want to see how he plays. And, of course, when we move over to linebacker, all eyes will be on Jamin Davis. Jamin Davis, the rookie, how he does out there, how he adapts to the game. We'll get to see his speed on film. You know, he ran a 4.41, or was a 4.37 in the combine, 43-inch vertical jump. So we get to see the athleticism. Ron Rivera has said nothing but good things, and he's first on the depth chart. So he is going to be out there with the starters as the middle linebacker. Cole Holcomb, John Bostic. I want to see Khalil Hudson too. Khalil Hudson has had a good camp. He's supposed to get a lot of snaps this year and a lot more playing time. So that's another guy that I want to see out there too. Safeties. Bobby McCain, Landon Collins, Cameron Curl, DeShazier Everett, Jeremy Reeves. We got a lot of safeties. So we'll see Derek Forrest, special teams guy as well. So we got a lot of safeties. You know, we'll see how it. And Greg Stroman, he's a cornerback as well. So, you know, we got to add him to the mix too. So there's a lot of safeties on this roster. It's going to be tough who makes it. I think Jeremy Reeves does make it. DeShazier Everett. There's just a lot of guys. Cameron Curl, Landon Collins. There's a lot of guys. So I do want to see Landon Collins back from the Achilles injury too, if he does end up playing, just to see that speed. And yeah, those are the guys that I really, really, really want to see. Of course, Chase Young, can't forget about him. I think he should be playing. And Montez Sweat. They're going to bring some energy, man. They're going to try to get after Cam Newton. Cam Newton is a mobile quarterback, so I expect him to be running around and whatnot. So it will be fun to see. I think. And then Mac Jones. Mac Jones. You know, seeing him from Alabama. He's been wearing that ugly number 50 in practice. We'll see how he does against Washington. We'll see, for our backup defensive ends. The biggest battle, I'm not going to say this is the biggest battle. I think the biggest battle is the wide receiver spot. But the most intriguing battle is that backup defensive end spot. James Smith-Williams, William Bradley King, Casey Toohill, Shaka Toney. All those guys are competing for that backup spot. You know, Ryan Kerrigan is gone. So we need somebody to give Montez Sweat and Chase Young a break. You know, James Smith-Williams, he's the first guy off the bench on the depth chart. He's had a heck of a camp. I've heard nothing but good things about him. And Casey Toohill has had a solid camp as well. Same thing with William Bradley King. So it will be interesting to see. William Bradley King, he has some burst to him, man. He really does. He has some burst to him and some versatility as well as some position flex. So I think he's a guy that has a chance to get a lot of playing time. And I think that's probably, if I had to predict 3 guys that are going to stand out in preseason tomorrow, I'm going to say De'Ami Brown is going to stand out. I think he's going to have a good camp. I think he's going to have a great game. I think William Bradley King is going to have a really good game. And I'm going to go with Jared Patterson. I think Jared Patterson's going to show out. I think he's going to have about 50 yards. That running back, I think his name was Robert Mack or Miles Mack from a couple years ago in preseason, who just kept balling out. I think he had like a 90-yard rushing game in preseason or something crazy like that. I expect Jared Patterson to do that in one of the 3 games. So I'm expecting William Bradley King. Of course, my man Heineke. I think Heineke's going to have a good game too. Heineke, William Bradley King, and Jared Patterson. And I'll add Ben St. Juste to the list too. I think he's going to have a heck of a game. I think I got him. I'm going to say he gets an interception. Those are my bold predictions for the game tomorrow night. So like I said, I'm not going to do a score prediction because this is just preseason. I only do that for the regular season games. But you guys let me know 3 players who you think is going to stand out tomorrow night. You can comment below, or your bold prediction for the game tomorrow. And we'll see what happens with the quarterback competition. If Ryan Fitzpatrick plays bad and Heineke plays really, really well, I think that's the only way that Heineke can move up in the competition. That's like the only way Heineke has to have a heck of a game. But I'm expecting Ryan Fitzpatrick to have a solid game, you know, kind of vanilla, not dink and dunk, but just some solid plays to Adam Humphries and some solid plays to De'Ami Brown as well. And we'll see what Scott Turner dials up offensively for the Washington football team if he tries to do any reverses or end rounds or anything like that. So, all right, guys. Hail to the football team. We'll be talking after the game on Thursday night. I will be making a recap video as always. Hail to the football team. Peace.